Oh, good morning. My apologies. Didn't notice you'd woken up over there. Probably wouldn't for another hour. I was so enamored with the view from this window here. How'd you sleep? You looked to be getting plenty of rest when I last checked. Oh, I slept fine. Just like spending my mornings in such a manner, staring out looking at our surroundings. In such a beautiful country, it helps to appreciate it every now and then. Plus, I'm an early riser. Gotta be in a profession like my own. Can't remember a time I ever slept in past 6 unless I was wounded in one way or another. I didn't wake you, did I? That's good to hear. And it's still early. Sun's still creeping up over the hills there. But I think the hotel's bar is offering breakfast now, so if you're feeling up to it, we might head on down and fill our bellies up with some grub. What do you say? I'd imagine you're hungry from yesterday after all, and horse riding always tends to leave me a mite bit peckish the day after. Again, it's still early, so I reckon most of the other guests will still be asleep. Which gives us quick access to the menu, doesn't it? Plus, I wouldn't mind discussing today's itinerary with you before we go about it, just so that we're on the same page. What do you think? Well, if you're fine with it, then I'm fine with it. After all, we're partners, ain't we? Helps to have the same mindset in such areas. Oh, don't worry about Lola. That girl's being well tended to in them there stables based on the noises I heard her making. She's probably getting better treatment than we are, knowing her. Why, just a glance from those intimidating eyes of hers, and I reckon the stable hands are rushing to cater to her every whim. Now, if you don't mind, my stomach's grumbling, and the smell of that kitchen's been wafting up those stairs for the past hour. Nothing like the freshness of a quiet bar before sunup. Much more preferable to when it's busy and a ruckus gets started. If you don't mind, I prefer to sit by the window and facing towards the door. Granted, that particular table is a bit far from the bar itself, but I think you catch my meaning. It's a necessary precaution I like to take. Thank you. Now, what will you be having? I myself am in the mood for a bit of a feast this early. Figured I'd be going for a plate of beef. Beans, potatoes, vegetables. Might sound a bit much at this time, but I need the energy. Especially since I've been living off nothing but canned sardines and biscuits for the past few days out in the wastes. That's a nice choice. Anything to drink along with it, or is it a bit too early for you? Glad to hear it. Never can trust someone who can't control themselves, especially when drink has its devilish grip on them. I'll be back in a moment, don't worry. I'm paying too. Just keep an eye on the door for me, would you? Let me know if anyone comes in. I'm not particular about who. Here you are, meal as requested. Breathe that scent in. Doesn't it smell nice? Weird thing happened back there. When I was giving the barkeep our orders, the fella took one look at me, said the food was free, said my money was no good to them. Guess he knew who I was. Nice to hear. By the way, did anybody come in? Alright, if you're certain. Of course I had to view the door myself, but I just wanted to be certain my perception hadn't lapsed. Now you go ahead and start eating. I'll lay out the plan for today. First things first, like I said yesterday, we've got to get you out of them there clothes. You look downright freakish in what you're wearing. I cannot lie. I'm not sure who your tailor was, but they certainly seemed to want you to stand out from the crowd. And that ain't too good here. Bleach is a decent enough town. The people here are God-fearing and quiet. Most wouldn't hurt a fly. There's some around here who are... Less tolerant, to say the least. Be a shame for me to have gone all that effort of saving you only for you to wind up dead, wouldn't it? Yes, I thought you might agree with that part. Once we've got you decked out, I wouldn't mind giving you a tour around this place. I've been here before. See, back in my younger days, I was once one of Sheriff Marshal's deputies. They're the one that trained me and made me the killing machine you see before you now. Ah yes, their name is in fact Sheriff Marshal. The last part might seem a bit redundant. I reckon that's why they've never been promoted. They're a good sort, though. I'd ride with them any time. We might bump into them, who knows? I'm surprised they hadn't already visited us, in fact. Now, if you'll give me a minute, I'll finish up my grub. Then you and me head out and hit the town. Quite looking forward to seeing how it's changed. Whew, my eyes might have been bigger than my stomach on that one, being perfectly honest. My apologies, partner. I overestimated just how hungry I was. Ignore that for now, though. Let's head on to the shops before they get busy. I, for one, hate wasting time queuing and waiting. Best to get there early, I say. Now, Bleach is one of the smaller towns in this region. Nothing particularly wrong with that, though. Just means you can get to know everyone better. It's home to a couple hundred folk, most of whom are pleasant. Like I said, unless it happens to be payday, most places tend to get a bit rowdy around that time of the month. Despite its small size, however, Bleach happens to have one of the biggest graveyards in the whole country. That is a documented fact. For one reason or another I'm not particularly sure of, people love having their relatives buried here. Might be because of the beautiful chapel the graveyard was built around. Might be due to the fact that everyone else seems to like getting their loved ones buried here. They're just following suit. Very strange, though. The undertaker over there never seemed too upset about it. Yeah, that's the undertaker's place, located between the general store where we're heading and the barber shop. I would have thought the coffins outside of it would have given it away, but there aren't any. What? Oh, apologies, my friend. Something just caught my eye for a second there. Nothing serious, just got a mite distracted. Sorry, where were we? Yes, the general store. Should have everything you need. Now, unless things have changed, it's currently being run by a delightful lady named Maggie. Pleasant woman. Treated me very well during my time here. So while you fetch some clothing for yourself, I'll be having a chat with her. If we're lucky, she might even offer us a discount. Though that's neither here nor there. Now come on, let's get headed on in. Morning, Maggie. How are you? Yeah, it's me. I'm sure you're happy about that. Good to see you again. Oh, I'm just passing through, you know me. Heading where the trail takes me. Today it seems it took me to this soul here. Found them out on the side of the road. Would have died in the sun if I hadn't rescued them. Figured I'd bring them here since it wasn't out of my way. And as you can probably tell from looking at them, they need a new set of clothes, which no doubt they're currently perusing your shelves for. Am I alright? Well, yeah, I'm fine, Maggie. Why do you ask? Ah, that. Water under the bridge. Nothing to worry about. At least not you, anyway. I, on the other hand, am mighty set on avenging that little misdeed. But speaking of that, I passed by the undertakers a moment ago. Noticed the sign saying they were closed for the foreseeable future. What happened there? Dead. Jeff? The owner? A dead undertaker. How ironic. But whatever of? Natural causes? Haven't heard. What haven't I heard, Maggie? So they are here. I thought so. But if they killed Jeff, Where's Sheriff Marshall? Surely they must have... Oh, God. I see. Forgive me, Maggie. I need to talk to my friend for a moment. Partner, I apologize for interrupting your browsing, but I've come across some news that is mighty disturbing. Similar to how you've been keeping the truth of your arrival on the roadside a secret, I haven't been entirely truthful with you either. The truth is, I am a man on a mission, a righteous one. I have been tracking a group of criminals known as the Scully Gang. You mightn't recall me mentioning them. A more dastardly set of murderers and thieves I've never seen, and it seems they've taken up residence here in Bleach, or at least on its outskirts. They've been causing trouble here recently. They shot Jeff the Undertaker because they thought it was funny. And when Sheriff Marshall tried to stop them, they kidnapped him. Now Lord knows what they're doing to them right this very second. But I think you'll agree that I cannot let this thing stand, nor can I let the people of this town suffer under the shadow of those dastardly folk a second longer. That being said, I'm alone. The rest of Marshall's deputies are dead, the townsfolk scared into silence. I know we only met just the other day, and I'm not particularly sure of your capabilities. But will you help me? I'd be doing all the shooting. I just need you to watch my back, keep an eye on things, and seems like you don't have much of a choice regarding your involvement. Tom Scully himself just entered the store.